Tonight we're learning more about a former Lubbock police officer who was arrested inside police headquarters yesterday. Court documents show that April Mora and Lubbock firefighter Jonathan Faulkner's crimes were together.
They're accused of falsifying Mora's child's birth certificate. KCBD News Channel 11's Madeline Hall joins us with a look at these charges. Madeline?
Karen and Abner, Lubbock police called a news conference after Mora's arrest yesterday, which we showed you last night. Chief Herman didn't reveal much other than the investigation began last month after she was already on paid administrative leave for a different matter. Chief Herman did not specify what that matter was.
While Officer Mora is currently on unpaid administrative leave, she was initially placed on paid administrative leave on April 15th. On April 29th, while a separate administrative investigation was ongoing, the Lubbock Metropolitan Special Crimes Unit was made aware of an allegation involving Officer Mora.
So here's how the investigation shakes out according to the probable cause affidavit. Mora was in a relationship with another man when she became pregnant in 2023. She took a paternity test which confirmed that man, who she was separated from, was the father. By then, she was dating Lubbock firefighter Jonathan Faulkner. Mora claimed she spoke with an employee at UMC who authorized Faulkner to sign the birth certificate. A witness in the case used to work at UMC and told investigators that the hospital would not have authorized Faulkner's signature had Mora disclosed the paternity results like she claimed. Faulkner told investigators he knew the biological father was supposed to be listed on the birth certificate, but based on what Mora told him, he thought it was cleared for him to sign. Mora was a lauded member of the Lubbock Police Department. This is a video that LPD posted highlighting her work just 3 years ago. She joined the force in 2016 and became the first female K-9 officer in LPD's history in 2020. Chief Herman says he knows his department is supposed to be held to a higher standard.
Lubbock Police Department recognizes the amount of trust that is placed within our department and the men and women who serve this community, which is why when an officer is implicated in a criminal offense, we believe it is of supreme importance to come to you, the public, with this information.
Mora is currently on unpaid administrative leave from LPD. She's charged with 4 counts of falsifying records on a birth certificate, which is a felony. Faulkner faces 2 counts of the same charge. He's currently on paid administrative leave from LFR. Karen and Abner.